House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan and two other House Republicans sent 4 letters to the heads of some massive companies like BlackRock and Vanguard inquiring about their ESG efforts and indicating that they could be in violation of federal antitrust laws. According to the Daily Caller, in all of the letters, the lawmakers say that these companies appear to have potentially violated U.S. antitrust laws by potentially colluding to reach net zero emissions by 2050 or sooner across all assets under management. Well, Jordan and the lawmakers compared Climate Action 100 Plus to a cartel that gets businesses to take action on climate change. So there's a couple of organizations. Net Zero Asset Managers is one of them. They are a sector-specific group within a larger organization that supports the net zero goals and has more than 300 asset manager members, as well as over $59 trillion in assets under management. So basically what they do is they go around to these large money managers that have a fiduciary duty to generate return for shareholders, and they get them to come on board with these climate agendas. And the way that they do this is they push their weight around because they get to vote the shares of all of the companies that they don't own, but that their shareholders own. So BlackRock manages lots of funds for teachers and other 401k plans. And so it's the everyday mom and pop investors just like you and I who are trusting companies like BlackRock, not if you're following our strategy, but for the most part, the unsuspecting person is trusting these companies to generate a return. But these companies have a higher goal in mind. They're trying to save the earth, right? And because they've bought into this climate change bit. Well, these companies have until July the 20th to give a response. Interestingly enough, one of the biggest cheerleaders for the ESG movement has been the founder of BlackRock, Larry Fink. In a recent interview that I saw, he's asked about ESG and how it's, coming under a lot of criticism lately. It can't seem to win either. If you've jumped off the fence on one side or the other, you're going to be really offensive to one group. So Fink is now saying that he doesn't use the term ESG anymore because it has become quote unquote toxic and weaponized by the left and the right. So he's realized.
What a hero, Shanna. What a hero. Right? Thank you, Larry Fink.
He's realized that it's better to stay on the fence in the climate debate and just focus on BlackRock's fiduciary duty to generate return for investors. Now, Fink said that BlackRock balances investments in both green and traditional energy, so green and brown energy. BlackRock manages about $9 trillion in assets, and he said they have $380 billion invested in traditional energy. That's the bad energy, the brown energy. So, but really that only represents about 4% of their assets under management. When you can get $59 trillion worth of assets organized by using the power of voting the proxies, you can wield a lot of power and get traditional energy companies to engage in decarbonization efforts. Well, it's pretty clear that Fink believes that the global warming propaganda that is being pushed, and he thinks he has enough money to save the earth by getting BlackRock behind this initiative. I think, my opinion, he now thinks that it was a mistake to put $9 trillion of BlackRock's assets behind the climate change agenda.